good air circulation, limit vigorous activity, and when outdoors, avoid direct sunlight by staying in the shade. With higher temperatures and increased humidity expected today, Ascension St. Mary's Hospital Center of Hope will serve as a cooling station. Located at 723 Emerson Street in Saginaw, just behind the hospital, the center will be open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Community members are welcome to come inside the Air Conditioning Center of Hope as a respite from the hot weather. The Bay City Salvation Army is also offering their community center as a cooling center from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. today. Masks are required in the Salvation Army Center. In the hot weather like today, you need to take care of yourself, but also your pets. Dogs can be very susceptible to overheating, and Dr. Jenna Corbett with the Animal Emergency Center in Novi says there's a method to cooling off a dog.
We recommend not putting them in a cold bathtub, like cold water. Actually, just lukewarm water usually works the best. We don't want to cool them off too quickly. And then, of course, calling your local emergency clinic as fast as possible.
Corbett says that you should never leave a dog in an enclosed car, especially when temperatures are reaching today's levels. WSGW News Time 9:07.
The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union just got better. It's now being offered all year long. This means you can get a whatever loan whenever. Now available year-round, the Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union gives you money when you need it most. Use it on groceries, utilities, unplanned expenses, or whatever else life throws your way. Apply online at mfcu.net or stop into your local branch. Get back on your feet with the Whatever Loan from Members First Credit Union. Some restrictions may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
A lot goes into keeping a precision operation moving. The inputs you choose have to deliver results. Delaro Complete Fungicide from Bayer offers unmatched consistency and the most complete disease control available. Your corn and soybeans are protected and yields higher, even in unpredictable conditions. With Delaro Complete, you get results you can count on to help keep your precision operation running smoothly. Always read and follow label instructions. To learn more, visit delarocomplete.us today.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A teenager may soon be serving you a drink at your favorite restaurant. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed legislation that allows 17-year-old waitstaff to sell and serve alcohol at restaurants and other businesses. Those selling the alcohol have to complete a training program. There also has to be a supervisor who is at least 18 years old at the establishment. Meanwhile, the governor also signed legislation allowing swim-up bars at public swimming pools. Supporters say serving food and alcohol in swimming pools will provide a new experience for tourists and help businesses also. Preventing the summer slide as schools break for the summer, Elise Belkin, the owner of Belkin Tutoring, says summer tutoring doesn't only fill learning gaps, it increases confidence.
Working with somebody and building confidence in the learner's skills and abilities helps them go into the upcoming year feeling good about it, embracing their learning, being better engaged.
Belkin says the pandemic has increased kids' anxiety, and tutoring is one way to help them look forward to the upcoming school year. Virtual and in-person options are available. Information can be found at belkintutoring.com. Gas prices are holding steady for the second day in a row. AAA says that the average price of gas is $5.21 per gallon in the state, same as it has been since Monday. A year ago, we were paying $3.16 per gallon. The FAA is investigating a small plane crash in Eaton Rapids, which occurred yesterday near Lansing. Officials say the two people on the plane managed to walk away with no injury. State's Airport in Eaton Rapids shortly after 6 p.m. when it went down. The National Transportation and Safety Board is helping with the investigation. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 910. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A heat advisory goes into effect this afternoon. Sunny and hot for today. Highs will top out near 96 degrees with heat index values getting over 100. With south-southwesterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows drop to 74. Thursday, any showers and early. Otherwise sunny and breezy. Highs warm into the middle 80s. Then lows fall back to 65 under clear skies on Thursday night. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 80.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from the actual studios today. We will have open phones later on, and on Focus this morning, we're going to focus on the MBS International Airport with James Kanders, its executive director. All of that coming up, but we're going to start out this morning talking about one of our favorite topics, tourism and all of that, in one of our favorite places right here in Saginaw County, Frankenmuth. And with us, the Frankenmuth City Manager, we say good morning to Bridget Smith. Bridget, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So here we are in the summer season, and if you don't think so, don't go outside today because it's 96 degrees. But Frankenmuth is in full swing, isn't it?
It is. It's back and busier and more planted and than we have been in a couple of years. It's very exciting.
Is it? I mean, do you sense that you're at pre-pandemic levels in terms of tourism and people coming into town?
Well, from what I've heard, we are at levels that are higher than in 2019. So we're doing quite well.
People have been pent up. They want to get out. And Frankenmuth occasionally offers an opportunity to do it's nonstop festivals in Frankenmuth, really. So how is the community holding up when you have this great influx of people? What does it mean to the city and to the city budget and law enforcement and all of those things, all the pieces of the puzzle that go together to deal with these thousands of people that come into town?
You know, we were just talking about this earlier this week, that the only way to make all of these things happen is with a lot of collaboration. Whether it's like the Bavarian Festival that was just here this week, you can't really do that alone. It takes the Civic Events Council who organizes the event. It takes the city who sets up, I don't know, somewhere around at least 50 trash barrels for the parade route, who help organize and block the roads. It takes the police department and our full-time officers, part-time officers, reserve units, the Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and nothing would work without our incredible and plentiful volunteers.
You mentioned collaboration. Is that also financial collaboration? By that, I mean, obviously you have a budget. Mm-hmm. The budget allows for certain things to happen in the city, but do you bill back to the organizers of the festival some of the costs?
In certain situations. So when our police are dedicated inside a tent, like World Expo of Beer or 80s Fest, where we have officers within a confined space, basically, those charges are billed back. But for the most part, when we're handling kind of the overflow that happens during these busy weekends and our officers are on the street, those are supplemented by the general fund. And that's why our reserve unit in the police department is so important.
So let's chat for a minute about tourism and what it means to the financial health of not only Frankenmuth but the region. Just how important is it?
Well, I think Frankenmuth has an interesting story in the sense that, for several years, long before I've been here, we've tried to find ways to make ourselves more resilient. So we've looked at ways to help stabilize our local economy in times of downturns, and so tourism clearly is a huge benefit and totally within our wheelhouse. And the way I think that we position ourselves is when times are good, it's a wonderful destination, clearly a lot to do. And when gas prices are high, it's still a wonderful destination and a much shorter drive. So that has been incredibly helpful. We also have been blessed with really innovative entrepreneurs and business owners that really don't stop thinking of new ways to offer experiences to people, and that I'm always just so fascinated at how they continue to find new and small incremental ways to keep people coming back.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, labor. Are various entities in Frankenmuth having difficulty finding employees?
Well, gosh, the city has had difficulty finding employees. I think I think that's true across the board. And again, as I mentioned, businesses are starting to think differently. I know the Bavarian Lodge has offered some tuition reimbursement programs, and people are doing what they can, I think, to entice people to work. And at the city, we've had to raise some of our.
Oh, you froze on us. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We're talking to Bridget Smith. She is the Frankenmuth city manager. We'll see if we can get her unfrozen and come back with more conversation here on WSGW.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer
For over
Sugar.
20 years, you have known Sunrise Awnings as the home of the shady deal. Living in Michigan, we are always looking for ways to spend more time outdoors, especially now. Sunrise Awnings provides homeowners that opportunity to expand their living space with Sunsetter or Summer Space Awnings. Enjoy family and friends, protected from the sun, rain, and heat. Call Sunrise Awnings today to take advantage of that outdoor lifestyle you enjoy. Check us out at sunriseawnings.net. Get the most out of your patio and deck with a retractable awning from Sunrise Awnings.
Country Legends, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When country star Keith Urban first moved to Nashville 3 decades ago, he was known for throwing the best parties.
And somebody foolishly gave us a Polaroid camera, and the fridge would get covered in snapshots of these encounters. All I can say is I'm glad you can burn Polaroids.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates later today. Fed Chair Jerome Powell previously indicated there would be a 0.5 percentage point increase, though economists at J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs are telling clients they expect rates to go up 0.75 percentage point. Cryptocurrency prices are losing more ground after Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler said the recent slump in prices underscores the need to better regulate the digital asset industry. Telemedicine startup Cerebral is being investigated by the Federal Trade Commission. The Wall Street Journal says the probe involves automatic renewal of its subscription fee. Cerebral provides mental health services and says it intends to fully cooperate with the investigation. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Big news! Greta Van Susteren is hosting her new show, The Record with Greta Van Susteren. It's just launched on Newsmax. Each night at 6 p.m. Eastern, Greta is reporting the real news and without the media spin. She's smart, tough, and always fair. Find Greta on Newsmax, America's fastest growing news channel. Millions have switched to Newsmax. Find out why. If your cable doesn't carry Newsmax, call them. Demand it. Make the switch today. Newsmax is real news for real people.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
School's out for summer, but if your business is running QuickBooks, you'll never get a break. QuickBooks manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays will leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Failing to graduate to NetSuite will leave you stuck in summer school while your friends party. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 cloud financial system, no matter how big your business grows. With visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Automate your process with NetSuite and close your books in no time. 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since graduating from QuickBooks to NetSuite. Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program, so graduating has never been easier. Head to netsuite.com/radar right now. netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Fly ball to right up the bat of Willie Castro, way back and gone. Willie Castro, first pitch of the game for the Tigers.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. With us, Bridget Smith, who is the city manager of the city of Frankenmuth. However, she is now on the phone, friends. I was going to ask Bridget how the broadband technology is doing in Frankenmuth, but I don't think I will. Her video feed froze on her, so she was kind enough to call in. We were talking about labor, and you were mentioning before you even got to the businesses in town that the city itself is having problems finding labor.
Yeah, we traditionally have been fortunate enough to seek out high school graduates, kids still going to college, who are looking for summer seasonal help, and that's how we maintain our downtown and our parks. And it was a struggle this year. And lawnmowers. We were very fortunate, I would say, for the past 15 years that we've had some early retirees who really enjoyed helping us mow the lawn in our parks. And that has been a void that has been very hard to fill.
So how do you cover these things? I mean, you have to be done. You can't let the grass grow.
Well, we take a lot of pride in Frankenmuth and having things maintained very well. And so we've been, I would refer to it as using our utility players. So in our Public Works Department, they have been very gracious in providing support staff to help maintain parks and recreation, to supplement the team that we have working downtown. And we've seen such a dramatic increase of visitors downtown that we're now having to take care of like trash typically on weekends, where before we would do it on Friday and then we could usually make it through till on Monday. And now we're seeing such success that we have to supplement that, which is a good problem to have.
What have you heard from the business community on finding labor?
Some of the same similar sorts of situations. They too are looking to recruit. Some businesses are still limiting some hours and days of operation. It most definitely is a challenge, and I think one of the most challenging aspects is that we have visitors. You know, it was a different situation during COVID when there were more restrictions and caps on capacity. We don't have those things now, and we have people ready to eat dinner and do things on Mondays and Tuesdays, and those are it's difficult to see businesses still struggle.
So let's talk for a minute about the city of Frankenmuth. If I said to you, Bridget, what do you see as the biggest needs of the city right now, what would it be?
So one of the things that we're working on right now is in terms of parks and recreation, the city has some fabulous facilities. The Harvey Kern Pavilion, a brand new spray park. We have some plans for future paths and kind of like off-road trails. It's difficult for us to know what we need to budget today to pay for those repairs and replacements that are going to take place 10 and 15 years from now. So we're working on a plan that will help us be prepared. That's probably our biggest need, is to make sure we're not caught flat-footed when we have some infrastructure needs come down the road. And we do that with water and sewer and streets, but we've never really done that in terms of parks and recreation before.
You talk about budgeting. What's the current inflation rate and gas prices done to the city's budget?
Well, we did just compare our fuel costs for the police department and public works from this year to last year, month over month, and they've doubled.
Wow.
We've built in increases in our next fiscal year, which starts July 1st. But if this trend continues, it's not enough. We'll be over budget in that line item if prices stay where they are.
Has it changed the way you deliver service to your residents?
I don't think it's changed them, but I will say that our police department is now doing a bike patrol. It's something that we've done years ago, and we're not doing it because of gas prices. We're doing it more because of congestion during larger weekends and big events.
We've all experienced that in Frankenmuth.
So it does a couple of things. Putting our officers on bikes allows them, sometimes to get places quicker than in a vehicle. It also allows them to physically get inside some of our larger parks, like Heritage Park and Memorial Park, where there's only trails to access the inner parts of that park. And it lets them interact with residents on a more intimate basis. We've had some retirements and a number of new officers who have joined our force. And that's some of the beauty of a small town, is that our residents know our police officers by name. And it's something we're trying hard to continue.
It's Yeah, it's a trying time. This is a difficult time for government bodies like yours who have to forecast budgets and then find out how wrong you were.
Yes. It does help. Frankenmuth has always been very fiscally conservative, and I can't say enough about the team of people who work at the city. They take their budgets very seriously, and the taxpayers of Frankenmuth should feel really good that they really do look for cost savings, and sometimes to an extreme, they treat these tax dollars like they're making a personal investment.
Let's talk about economic development. Have we seen much in Frankenmuth?
Yeah, actually, it's I talked a little bit earlier about making the city more resilient, and we had during the pandemic a big investment from Star of the West, which is a miller and ag producer. They created a clean slate building, and I know I'm going to be chastised for saying this, but it creates like ready to eat flakes that can be used for cereal and granola bars and that sort of thing. But it looks like oatmeal, which I know is not the right way to describe it. And then we also had a substantial investment by the Frankenmuth Woolen Mill, which is a really interesting story. They operate on Main Street, but they truly are an industrial use, and their building addition is almost complete, and it just looks fantastic. It's a significant nod to their history in operation. And in July, we'll be considering an industrial facilities tax exemption for Michigan brands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Michigan Brands is a processor of specialty meats.
Absolutely.
So
well known.
They're just completing about an 8,000 square foot addition.
Where are they located in Frankenmuth?
They are near the Aerial Park off White Street,
Oh,
kind of
really?
near Stone.
Yeah. So let me ask, have you ever done the Aerial Park?
Well, I haven't.
Haven't
I've been there.
zip-lined? Yeah.
I have zip lined, but I've been with people who zip lined, so almost.
That's close enough. Well, Bridget, listen, it is always wonderful to talk to you and hear about one of the gems in the Great Lakes Bay region, the city of Frankenmuth. And if we don't talk to you during the summer, have a nice, wonderful summer in Frankenmuth, and hope you get tremendous tourism, and that benefits everybody.
Well, thank you, Art. It was a pleasure to speak with you as always.
All right, we'll talk to you again. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bridget Smith, she is the city manager of the city of Frankenmuth, one of the great tourist attractions in the state of Michigan. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's open phones for the remainder of the program this morning, 989-752-6111.
We understand it's not often you decide to invest in new flooring or window treatments, but when you do, you deserve to take your time and take in all the options, styles, and colors available while sharing your ideas with someone who can help you with your decisions. Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth, and that's what we've been doing for 60 years. We've been helping people make great decisions on new window treatments, paint, carpeting, and flooring, and with our own expert design team, we can turn your home into a showplace. Right now at Warden Interiors, we're making room for all the new merchandise, so you'll find unbelievable prices on carpet, vinyl, and laminate floors. Also, you can brighten up any room with one of the new lively colors of California ceramic paint, the toughest and most durable paint available. Or choose the elegance of new Hunter Douglas window treatments to enrich your home. We have it all, so come in and take your time. Let's sit down and talk about it. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, Sausage Patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's new $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TrackPhone.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSW online poll is about 17-year-olds serving alcohol. The legislature did pass, and Governor Whitmer has signed, the law that allows 17-year-olds to serve alcohol at restaurants or bars in Michigan. 17-year-olds will only be able to serve at an on-premise location. A person of 18 years of age or older has to be present, and an alcohol server training course must be completed. Some supporters say it's going to be very helpful trying to fill those many openings of jobs in the restaurant industry. Some opponents say that they're concerned about the young adults that might lack the maturity to recognize maybe a person who's being overserved. Just some of the comments. Maine is the only other state that allows 17-year-olds to serve alcohol. So our poll question is, do you think that Michigan should be allowing 17-year-olds to serve alcohol within the constraints of the law? Yes? No? Not sure. You head to WSW.com, make your vote, and you scroll down the homepage and find the online poll box.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
What if I identify my gas prices as $1.95 a gallon? You think I'd get it for that?
Well, that's not rooted in reality, sir.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. In the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. Open phones, as I said, we'll get to those in just a moment. I just want to make one quick note here. Got an email from Bonnie Kanicki, the director of the Saginaw County Animal Control and Care Center. They are having an extended hours adoption event today. Goes on today, and they're going to be there until 7 o'clock tonight. So if you've been desirous of giving a pet a forever home, this would be your opportunity at Saginaw County Animal Care and Control. All right, with that said, phone calls always take priority. We've got one waiting for us this morning, and it's William in Bay City. William, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I was calling about that Savino remark that the oil companies are gas gouge. I don't really believe it, because a couple years ago I got gas for $1.77 at Walmart, $1.72 with the nickel discount. Well, if you round it out, $2, a lot of places were $2.15, $2.25, whatever. And so you figure right now, oil back then was $40 a barrel. So if you triple that, it's $1.20 a barrel now. So they should get triple the price. It should be $6 a gallon.
And when you take into account inflation, as much as we don't like gas prices at $5.15 or whatever, the reality is that it's a world commodity. And you're right, at $120 a barrel, that's what happens.
See, it's business in that. So they got to get their market share. Why let OPEC get all the money? Like, I think we should get $1 gas tax. The retailers get $1, and then the oil OPEC gets $1. It should be $3 a gallon.
Well, it's because they have the product. He who has the product sells the product, So,
but the gas tax should go by whatever they charge. If they charge more for gas, we get more gas, and offsets the damage done to our economy. Our money is leaving our country and going to a foreign country.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck. Maybe in theory that's wonderful, but good luck.
Right. You're right again, Art.
All right, William.
All right, bye.
Have a good one, buddy. Bye-bye now. That opens the line. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Yeah, listen. None of us, I don't know anyone that loves to go to the gas station right now and pay over $5 a gallon of gas. Not one single person that I know. And yes, if the policies of the Biden administration were different and not punitive against the oil industries because of the Green New Deal and all that good stuff, we might be paying a little bit less. But you have to remember, it is still a world commodity. And even if we as Americans produced more gas, it might save us a few cents at the pump, but it's a commodity on the world market. And in the same way that maybe OPEC countries are getting $120 a barrel, so would American producers. So, I mean, it really is a world issue. We can't get away from it. It's nice to say, look, we can be energy independent. Yes, we can. But it's still a world commodity. Now, I would like us to be energy independent, totally not dependent on anybody else. You see what's happening in Europe right now because they're dependent on Russia for their fuel supplies, and it's altered the way they want to deal with Putin and the Ukraine because they can't cut their own throats, which is what they'd be doing. Now, a number of countries have cut off his oil and are trying to get it from other producers, including the United States. But for a number of those countries, they're dependent on Putin in the same way that we are unfortunately dependent on China for so much. Our drug industry, you name it. I mean, why do we want to be dependent on someone else for anything when we can produce it right here at home? I don't understand it. Never will. John is in Saginaw. John, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Arthur. I'd like to highlight a couple of things that the news media really hasn't put the proper emphasis on. And of course, in the first quarter of the year, United Airlines announced they will be leaving the Chicago area and going into the Arlington, Virginia area. This week it was announced that Caterpillar
yep.
Will be removing their headquarters from Chicago and moving it to Dallas.
Yep.
And of course, the same thing happened a few years ago in New York when AT&T moved from New York to Dallas. I wonder what effect this will have on the politicians or the public at large.
Oh, probably none, unfortunately.
These are things that they should pay very close attention to because decisions are being made and they'll affect people for years to come.
Well, you know the old saying, John, all politics is local. But
well, it's not going to be local in Peoria anymore.
Well,
it's going to be local in Dallas.
Right, but you know, you look at the history of how they vote and who they vote in. The old adage is, if you do the same thing over and over again, why should you expect change? So, you know, you would hope that the voters of those areas would say, wait a minute, it hasn't worked in the past. We need to do something different. Will they? I'm not sure about that. I really am not sure.
I think, Arthur, people are not paying attention. They're more interested in going to a party and having a good time and borrowing money against their credit card and so on. They're really, you know, I hate to say it, but the average person is being dumbed down quite a bit.
Well, you know, this so relates to what you just said, John. There was a recent Gallup poll. Here is the headline from today. Record high 50% of Americans rate U.S. moral values as poor. And that is part of it, isn't it? We have changed as a society. We moved away from the church, from God. We've become disrespectful of each other. And we only care about our own little bailiwick.
That's right.
It's, you know.
And, you know, if they don't have a religious moral foundation and they're not interested in it, it's a prescription for decline.
And we're seeing it.
Yeah.
We are seeing it.
And I don't think we should fault President Putin. I don't fault him. As a matter of fact, if I would have been one of his advisors in the Soviet Union or in Russia there, I would have told him, go ahead, because there's going to be no opposition that's significant to stop you. Now, in the long run,
that's not a good reason to do it.
Well, the question is to do it or not to do it, and the answer is yes, go ahead, because right now the opposition is quite weak, and he can turn to the Chinese. And, you know, we don't speak much about India in this country, but India buys most of its military hardware from Russia. And, of course, they can go right ahead and get oil supplies if the United States and the West decides they don't want to use Russian oil. So what? They can ship it over to India and to China.
Which is part of what's happening right now anyway.
That's right. They're going to, it's a world commodity. And if you think what the world was like before the internal combustion engine, 1900, 1910, and all that the oil people and the engine people have done for the world in general, and how it's advanced our standard of living, to turn around and bite the hand that feeds you is sheer stupidity.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you? I think
you agree.
That's about it. All right, John. Hey,
All
listen, great conversation. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Arthur. Yeah, bye.
Bye now. All right. We'll take a pause here, and your calls are welcome, of course. Our lines are open. Let me talk to you about Thalen Honda, because here's a way of saving money in the gas pumps. North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, they do have some new cars on the lot, and they are getting new ones in all the time. You can find out what they have in the pipeline and reserve one for yourself, because Honda, with gas prices where they are, was rated first among all full-line automakers in the 2021 EPA report, 29.1 miles per gallon, 3.7 miles per gallon higher than the industry average for the 2020 model year. Plus, the 2022 Honda Civic won the prestigious North American Car of the Year award. And in addition, the Honda Ridgeline was ranked first among the longest-lasting trucks. So visit Thalen Honda on North Euclid Avenue today to see what's in the pipeline and reserve the car of your dreams while you still can. Now, if you have an older car, you want to move up to a newer pre-owned car, then Thalen is your place, because all the Thalen dealerships are lined up side by side on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, with a huge selection of inspected pre-owned vehicles, the largest in the Great Lakes Bay region. And you can find them online at thinkthalen.com, and all of those vehicles are ready for immediate delivery. Remember this, the Thalen family's been serving your automotive needs for over 45 years.
Consider a move to Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw.
There's a huge amount of trust that's built in that process of deciding where you're going to move, when you're going to sell your house. It's important when you walk into a place that you look around. Do the residents look happy? Are the staff interacting with them? How were you treated when you walk through the door? This is the next step to your journey. I want to give the right recommendation. I want to lead these people in the right direction. They've trusted me.
Schedule a tour today at wellspringlutheran.com.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Dads want steaks. Father's Day is here, and there isn't a better gift than Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com, type quality in the search bar, and save over 50% when you order the Dads Want Steaks package. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience he'll love and can share with you. Go to omahasteaks.com and type quality into the search bar and order the Dads Want Steaks package today. You'll get 16 entrees and 4 desserts plus 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers with your order. Don't wait. Order today. That's omahasteaks.com. Keyword quality.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Perhaps you heard the Star Wars franchise is continuing, though no longer with George Lucas. J.J. Abrams, he's going to be directing the next set of Star Wars movies. The next one is due in 2015. And word is out that the roles have started to be announced of how directors are looking to cast those who will participate as characters in the movie. So for the next Star Wars franchise movie, here are some of the roles they're looking for. A late teen female who's independent, has a good sense of humor, and is fit. A young 20-something male, witty and smart. Fit, but not traditionally good looking. Well, now there's a role I could fit. A 70-something male with strong opinions, tough demeanor, also doesn't need to be particularly fit.
There's a role for Art Lewis. Art Lewis. They just described him to a T. Perfect fit.
Your power's a weak old man. The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW. Cabrera.
Swing line drive, base hit into center field. Late start at second base for Castro. They're going to wave him home. Miguel Cabrera, line drive, single to center, and the Tigers take a 2-1 lead in the 8th.
Tigers baseball, brought to you in part by Lingle Equipment, Woolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. All season long, it's Detroit Tigers baseball on WSGW.
We're back with you for a few minutes here, and the next hour, by the way, it's open phones the entire hour. Wholesale prices. Oh, hold on to your wallet, folks. Wholesale prices rose 10.8% in May, near a record annual pace. That's the annual pace. It was up 0.8% for the month and comes in at 10.8% in May for the year. Monthly gain in line with estimates. Annual gain slightly off the record of 11.5 earlier this year, but still, out of sight. Today, we expect to hear from the feds, and guesses are all over the place, from 0.5% to 0.75, 0.75%, to even 1% possible in terms of boosting the interest rate, which is designed to slow down the economy. Because obviously when interest rates get high, you don't want to borrow money because it's costly. So it slows the economy down. Problem is, you can slow the economy down to the point where you head into a recession. It's a very fine line. Going to be interesting to see how far they take the increase today. Most observers are saying 0.75 basis points. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on it. We're going to take our last break for this hour. But again, we will be back next hour with open phones for the entire hour.
It's Cheesetown time in Pinconning. We've got a full weekend of events, from the Mac and Cheese Cook-Off on Friday to the big fireworks show on Saturday night. The Steve Javitsky Band will be playing polka music on the Pincana stage in the beer tent from 7 to 11 on the 17th. And Saturday the 18th, the beer tent opens at 3:30 with headliners the Sinclairs taking the stage at 8. Click on the link on our website, PinconingLinwood.com, or the Pinconning-Linwood Area Chamber of Commerce on Facebook for the details on how to register. We'll see you this summer in Pinconning.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The economy is heading for a total disaster. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hyperinflation. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text Safeguard to 989898. There's no obligation or purchase required. Again, that's Safeguard to 989898.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We're heading up to the news. We'll have news from CBS. And, of course, the national and international report. And then the local report, Michael Purchase in the WSGW newsroom to update you on the region and the state of Michigan. Then we will be back with an hour of open phones here on the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Stocks are higher at the start of the trading day, with investors hopeful ahead of an expected announcement from the Fed on what could be the biggest interest rate hike in almost 30 years. CBS's Sarah Ewald-Weiss.
They need to get ahead of this and help ease those prices. The way they do that is by raising the federal funds rate. That helps put downward pressure on inflation.
The Dow is up 368 in early trading. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas is still at $5.01 a gallon. And the Biden administration is laying part of the blame on refiners.
Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says supply and demand are a big part, but so is this.
The amount of profit that's being taken right now is astonishing.
She elaborated on CBS Mornings.
In March, the price per barrel of oil was about $120 per barrel, like it is today. But in March, we were paying $4.25 per gallon of gasoline. Today, we're paying over $5. So there's a 75-cent increase. What is going on there?
And she says this could accelerate the push toward green energy. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Highway safety officials say 70% of all driver assist crashes over the past year involved Teslas, but it warns first-of-its-kind data does not include context, like how many cars with autopilot are on the roads. Honda was number 2, and Ford is recalling almost 3 million Escapes, Fusions, Edge cars, and others. The problem, they can roll away because of a damaged or missing part. The temperature is expected to hit 98 in Odessa, Texas today, but no one will be able to cool down with tap water. Assistant City Manager Philip Arusha with an update on a massive water main break.
I want to ensure that the citizens of our community, that all of our staff is doing everything we can to get this done and fixed timely.
NATO ministers are meeting in Brussels on ways to help Ukraine in its 4th month of war with Russia. Pentagon correspondent Cammie McCormick.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said Ukraine urgently needs more modern equipment.
It is very much about enabling the Ukrainians to transition from Soviet era, from old equipment.
But he said that will take time.
That transition requires a lot of sharing of knowledge, of expertise, enabling them to do this quite challenging move.
Missing something at the bottom of your screen today? The E is gone, and if it is still there, it won't take you anywhere.
Multitasking on Internet Explorer.
After more than 27 years, it's over and out from Microsoft's browser. Fewer than 1% of web surfers were still using it. 2/3 swear by Google Chrome. This is CBS News.
Hiring is a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Rising home values mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to LoanDepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM. 866-549-TERM. 866-549-TERM.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 80 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Midland County man killed in an ORV crash on Sunday has been identified. Police say 56-year-old Clifford Granger of Jasper Township was riding a red and black 2018 Polaris RZR east on West Shepherd Road around 10:30 when he encountered a deer. He attempted to avoid hitting it, but struck it anyway, causing his ORV to leave the road and crash in a ditch, overturning. He was killed at the scene. Police say alcohol and drugs do not appear to be factors in the crash, but he was not wearing a helmet or a seatbelt. Now, this township man is charged with accidentally discharging a firearm, causing serious injury. On May 24, 30-year-old Cameron Zuzula was handling a firearm in his home when it went off, injuring his pregnant wife. The woman and the baby survived the incident. Zuzula, an active member of the U.S. Army, according to his attorney, was charged in a similar incident in 2016 in Crawford County when a firearm he was cleaning accidentally went off, injuring his hand. Due to the repeat nature of the offenses, a Saginaw County judge ordered all weapons in his home to be removed as a condition of his $25,000 bond. State troopers arrested 2 men in Saginaw yesterday in connection with the discovery of a stash of guns and drugs. Saginaw County Central Dispatch received a call around 3 a.m. about a report of shots fired. When police went to investigate, they saw the men, ages 26 and 30, running from the area of Van Etten and Morris Streets. Police found the stash of cocaine and guns inside and near a residence in the area. The men are being held pending arraignments. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
We understand it's not often you decide to invest in new flooring or window treatments, but when you do, you deserve to take your time and take in all the options, styles, and colors available while sharing your ideas with someone who can help you with your decisions. Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth, and that's what we've been doing for 60 years. We've been helping people make great decisions on new window treatments, paint, carpeting, and flooring, and with our own expert design team, we can turn your home into a showplace. Right now at Warden Interiors, we're making room for all the new merchandise, so you'll find unbelievable prices on carpet, vinyl, and laminate floors. Also, you can brighten up any room with one of the new lively colors of California ceramic paint, the toughest and most durable paint available. Or choose the elegance of new Hunter Douglas window treatments to enrich your home. We have it all, so come in and take your time and let's sit down and talk about it. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Weapons and trespassing charges have been filed against an Ypsilanti man accused of jumping a fence at Selfridge Air National Guard Base. The Macomb County Sheriff's Department says 25-year-old Curtis Cunningham was carrying a gun when he hopped the fence at Selfridge last week seeking shelter. Investigators say Cunningham got out of a car after an argument and didn't know where he was. When he saw the lights at the base, he was arrested by security guards. Former Detroit Police Chief James Craig, forced from the Republican primary ballot due to fraudulent petition signatures, has made the choice to run as a write-in candidate for governor of Michigan. Craig filed the necessary paperwork with the State Bureau of Elections office in Lansing, while also filing suit against a company known as Infield Strategies, which was allegedly responsible for submitting the forged signatures.
I'm suing both the company that was outsourced to and these other circulators that were involved in criminality. And so I'm hoping through this process, we'll be able to learn how this could have happened. I don't have the answer to it yet. But that said, I'm going to fight. We're going to stay in it.
Although he says it will admittedly be an uphill battle, Craig says he'll be mapping out his campaign plans this week for the coming 7-week run to primary election on Tuesday, August 2nd. Testimony resumes today in the trial of a Marquette area doctor accused of prescribing narcotics in exchange for sexual favors. Jonathan Robertson is charged with criminal sexual conduct, delivery of a controlled substance causing death, and other charges. Prosecuting attorney Robert Hayes says Robertson violated his patient's trust. Robertson's attorney told jurors to keep an open mind that there's more to the story. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A heat advisory will go into effect here this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies today with a high in the mid-90s. Southwest winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Increasing cloud cover, although near 74. By Thursday, skies will become mostly sunny, high around 87 degrees. Friday, sunny skies and a high around 80. Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high around 71. Then by Sunday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 78 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 84.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We have an open phone hour. Whatever you'd like to talk about, you can give us a call at 752-6111. Toll free 866-790-WSGW. And we would be happy to chat with you. We will also be hearing from Terry Henney this hour, who is out and about. If I can figure out how to set it up on my board here, because I haven't done it in so long. Maybe somebody can come in and give me a little hand here and make sure we have it in the right place. In the meantime, let us go to our phones and get the hour started with Bill in Hemlock. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. I think they're making such a big deal over this interest rate. I built a new house in 1974 and my mortgage was 16%.
Yeah, but that was 1974.
But I wish it would go back up to about 16% because I was getting 12% on my CDs.
Well, you were still losing 4% then. It's...
Yeah, but I have everything paid for now, and if I had 12% on CDs, I'd make a bundle.
That's true. But when you compare today's numbers, I mean, for a long time, we weren't getting anything on savings. I mean, what, 0.25%, maybe 0.5%, but interest rates were only, your mortgage rates were only 3.5%. So, relative to what you paid in 1974, it's probably about the same. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. You'd like to have no debts and good interest rate to make some money. I understand that. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and I was only making $8 an hour then, and now I was making $32 an hour.
Yeah. So
for the same job.
Well,
I bought a 1972 half-ton pickup, brand new, $3,500. Now they're over $40,000.
Yep, that's right. See, the thing is, and we say this all the time, Bill, there's this big push to raise minimum wage. Well, when you raise wages, everything else goes up. How do you get ahead? You don't.
No, you don't.
Were you ahead with your $32 an hour? Well, yeah, in terms of your paycheck, it was much bigger. But when you had to spend $40,000 on that pickup instead of $4,000, were you really ahead? And that's the question. That's the question.
And I think people should start out at a low wage. I started out at 75 cents an hour.
Me too. Yep. Yeah, that's where you learn to work.
It makes you feel good when you can make more and you strive to make more.
And there you go. It's called incentive. If I give you 75 cents an hour, but tell you if you work hard, you can make $10 an hour, you're going to work hard.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of the beast. When you hand it out for free, what's the incentive? There isn't any.
Yeah. And all these banks and credit unions, have you noticed how many there are around?
Yeah, lots.
And I belong to a credit union and a bank, and all of my services are free.
Yeah.
Where do they make their money?
They make their money on loans, interest loans,
credit cards. Maybe
they make the money. Well, yeah, they make the money. Banks and credit unions make money the same way. Their ownership is different. Where a bank may be a public company and you buy stock and things of that nature, credit unions are owned by their members.
I think some of them are going to have to go out too, because they're still building new banks and credit unions.
Sure. Well, listen,
anyway.
the market drives that. If there's enough money around to keep them going, they'll survive. If there's not, they won't.
Great. Well, all right. Well, thanks for the listening.
Hey, thanks for calling. Appreciate it, Bill.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye now. It's true. Let's face it. It's almost difficult to compare 50, 60 years ago to today, other than to say, if you factored in inflation over that period of time, would the numbers look like they do today? In other words, if you made $10 an hour, or you made $5 an hour in 1974, is what you make today based on the rate of inflation? Are you keeping up with inflation in your wages? So, and that's going to depend on individual companies and how much you made and all of that. Let's talk to Jack in Mount Pleasant. Jack, good morning to you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Darn well. Thank you.
Good.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Back in 2018 timeframe, I think Powell, he saw the writing on the wall that things needed to be reined in on the Fed balance sheet and normalize interest rates.
Yeah.
And Yellen and Bernanke had put that off for years, right, coming out of the financial crisis. But then he backed down. Right? He was going to do it. Then the stock market plummeted 30% and he backed down. And, during this current cycle, I'll call it cycle since the pandemic, he went on for a while and they said, well, we're going to maintain an average 2% and overshoot to compensate for when we're under. And the problem is you really can't predict stuff like that, right? And when we take a look at the Fed balance sheet, you've got $8.9 trillion on the balance sheet right now. You're looking at Treasury securities and so forth. And all that was happening is with these bills that got passed is
they gave away money.
Debt. Yeah, the Treasury issued debt and the Fed went out and bought the bonds.
Yep.
So they've got a big problem because they've got to reduce that balance sheet back to $4 trillion.
Well, they're trying to do that, but it's a slow process. I mean, it's going to take them quite a long time. They can't just pull out of the market. It's there's too much at stake.
I mean, this was truly money printing, though. I mean, they truly did. They truly did.
Anytime you crank up the printing press, you crank up inflation.
Yeah, exactly. And prior to I think it was 1909 or 1919, there was no Federal Reserve, right? And then he went off on.
Well, we were on the gold standard. We were on precious metal standards back then.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be, it's going to be interesting. And like you said, the balance sheet, they're only reducing, I think, $35 billion a month right now. And then in September,
at least they're
95.
Yeah, but at least they're reducing. I mean, they need to do that. They really need to get the handle on that. So
yeah, they do. Well, I called him yesterday. I think this is truly good for America to see that this can happen. And, we'll eventually come out of it and get back within the guardrails and all that.
It's not new. It's happened before. It's not new.
Exactly.
The question is, did we learn anything from it? Has history taught us anything? I'm not sure it has.
History repeats, but time makes the memory dim.
Yeah, that's very good. And if you do the same thing over and over again, don't expect a change.
There you go, Art. Hey, thanks. Nice talking to you.
Jack, thanks. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, 10:20. We'll take a break and see if we can catch up with Terry Henney when we come back.
The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union just got better. It's now being offered all year long. This means you can get a whatever loan whenever. Now available year-round. The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union gives you money when you need it most. Use it on groceries, utilities, unplanned expenses, or whatever else life throws your way. Apply online at mfcu.net or stop into your local branch. Get back on your feet with the Whatever Loan from Members First Credit Union. Some restrictions may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Parents, it's time to cross off life insurance from your to-do list. With Fabric, protecting your family with great term life insurance is easy, fast, all online, and affordable. Fabric's policies start at less than $1 a day. You could be approved on the spot with no health exam and no risk. Cancel anytime. Stop putting it off. Apply today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life. Not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
Carla's retiring early next month. We're all going to have to learn to pick up the slack.
The dessert-making role at Sawyer's restaurant, deserted.
Tom, if you can handle beignets.
They need a new pastry chef who can souffle like it's a piece of cake.
Come on, guys, we've got a line out the door. How much longer for those croissants?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. Some optimism appears to have returned to Wall Street after Monday's sell-off. There is a glimmer of hope that prices at the wholesale level could be stabilizing slightly. The producer price index rose 0.8% in May, up 0.5 excluding food and energy. For the year ending in May, the PPI rose 10.8%. A very modest improvement. Oracle's upbeat earnings are creating some optimism for the tech sector. The software giant saw a major increase in demand for its cloud computing business. Coinbase Global, the crypto exchange, is cutting about 1,100 jobs as part of its restructuring. Cryptocurrency prices have been slumping this week, with Bitcoin falling today to the weakest level in a year and a half. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Big news! Greta Van Susteren is hosting her new show, The Record with Greta Van Susteren. It's just launched on Newsmax. Each night at 6 p.m. Eastern, Greta is reporting the real news and without the media spin. She's smart, tough, and always fair. Find Greta on Newsmax, America's fastest-growing news channel. Millions have switched to Newsmax. Find out why. If your cable doesn't carry Newsmax, call them. Demand it. Make the switch today. Newsmax is real news for real people.
All right, let's see if we can head over to the Anderson Enrichment Center, because Terry Henney is there for their big Arts and Garden event going on today. Terry, good morning. Yeah. Oh, that'll really help you a lot. Yeah. That one would be good. Yeah. Well, that word is quickly going to shift to the hottest, not the warmest. Well, all right. We will talk to you later. All right. Take care. Bye-bye now. Terry Henney at Anderson Enrichment Center for their arts and garden event going on today.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Fly ball to right off the bat of Willie Castro, way back and gone. Willie Castro, first pitch of the game for the Tigers.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you here on WSGW. And it's open phones from now right up till 11 o'clock this morning. 989-752-6111. Couple of things happening. As you know, in the Senate, they have come to a compromise on gun control that has to do with red flag laws and mental health awareness and things of that nature. They have not banned any particular types of weapons or anything like that in this particular legislation. This is mostly to do with keeping people away from guns that should not have them. And a lot of these issues that are in this particular measure are generally supported not only by those that do not favor guns, but most lawful abiding gun owners agree with a lot of what's in this legislation. Expanded background checks. The only one that has some controversy to it is red flag laws, but even those a lot of gun owners agree with. So and now that the minority leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, has come out to support this legislation, it should have a relatively easy time in the Senate. There were at least 10 Republicans on the committee that compromised. So that's enough to give it the 60 votes to end the filibuster and call for a vote. So I would expect that we will see this legislation in the very near future, and then it'll go to the House and they'll compromise, come up with a piece of legislation. Let's talk to Jim in Saginaw. Jim, good morning.
Good morning. I'm from Kochville, but the guy didn't understand.
That's all right.
I didn't know where Kochville was.
Yeah, right down the road. I can see you from here.
I hope not. Not at the moment. Anyway, I'd like to talk about one of your humorous commercials you have on. Did you plan on breaking your arm tomorrow?
No, I did not. Why?
I'd like to move. One of the hospitals are saying, call ahead for your urgent emergency care. Make an appointment. I'm going, we're all joking about that one. One of the hospitals in the area is advertising that, going, okay, I'm going to have a heart attack tomorrow. I'm going to call ahead.
I think, that is funny that you look at it that way. I think what they're saying, of course, is if you're on your way, call ahead and let them know you're coming. But that is funny to put it that way. You think about it. Gee, let's see. I'll break my arm tomorrow, so I'll call today.
Yeah, I heard that. We all heard that commercial. We all kind of laugh about it, going, Bill, you're going to have a heart attack? Yeah, well, 2:00 in the afternoon. We'll plan on that.
It's funny you bring that up. I had an email a while back. We have a commercial here for one of our longest running advertisers is Sanitary Mattress. And in the commercial, it says that they offer a 1-hour window delivery of your mattress. And I got an email from someone saying, maybe you ought to say a 1-hour delivery window. Yeah. Because 1-hour window delivery, did they bring it through your window? Is that how
we need humor in this world,
Words matter,
I mean, in this day and age, the way everything's going, we need weird ideas and weird statements. Like I always make the question of people, why do we call it a restroom?
I never even thought of that.
You know, people tell me you're the only one to come up with these weird things.
Listen, that's clever. I actually like that.
And the other question, statement, quick, funny, was why we call $1 a buck. I looked up the history on that, and they said because they used skins, and a buck was a deer skin.
Yeah.
And stuff that we don't think about. Roll the sidewalks up. Well, they did that.
That's an old one.
But
then we accused Toledo of that. They'd roll up the sidewalks at midnight.
Well, because they didn't want the spikes to ruin the wooden sidewalks. Anyway, just a little bit of humor for the day.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Take care. Goodbye.
Thanks, Jim. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And here is Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. I'll make this one quick. You had a caller, I believe, yesterday, or a guy called in yesterday, who was toting how brilliant he was because he reads, I believe, the Wall Street Journal. And he started to tote some statistics. He said the Biden administration has given out 3,000 drilling permits. That's more than the entire Trump administration did in 4 years. But what this brilliant man doesn't seem to understand is just because you have a lease doesn't mean there's actually energy under the ground.
Yeah.
You have to come up with capital. You have to get through red tape, regulations, and restrictions that this administration is putting on it.
Yep.
And don't forget, Mr. Brilliant Man who reads the Wall Street Journal, this administration said, in this administration, there is no room for fossil fuels. We will put people in jail.
Yeah.
So you can read your Washington Journal or Washington Post and stay, I guess, to the left of everything. So it's just too bad, though, that people don't see the truth.
Yeah. That's, the lease means nothing because, you're absolutely right. You when you buy a lease, it's like going to Las Vegas and shooting craps because you don't know what's under the ground. You may have an idea, but you have no guarantees. And then to have to fight the red tape to actually get in the ground is a whole nother story. So
yes, it is.
All right, my friend. Yeah, go ahead.
And on that, if any farmers are listening, I just want to say thank you, guys. We appreciate what you do.
Absolutely.
Bless you.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, Art.
You bet.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And that was the lines for you. You're on the Art Lewis Show. But it's, listen, talking about farmers and agriculture, talk about a crapshoot when you put a seed in the ground and you hope it grows and then you hope the market provides you enough money to cover your costs. I have the greatest admiration for agriculturalists. I've talked to many over the years, including Terry Henney, but talked to a number. I have friends who are farm owners. And the question I always have is, why do you do this? And they love, first of all, being independent. They love working the land. They love feeding their fellow Americans and the rest of the world, for that matter. And they're willing to take these enormous risks. Sometimes they get wonderful returns. Other times, not so much. And think about this. Think about the cost of equipment today. You think about the car that in the 1970s was $4,000 is $40,000 today. Think about the combine that maybe was $35,000 is now $500,000 in some cases. That's an enormous investment that they have to make in order to bring you the food that you want on your table at a reasonable price. And they don't set the price. The commodity market sets the price. If you're in retail, you buy a product at a wholesale price, you mark it up to get your profit, and you sell it. Farmer can't do that. He's got input costs that have to do with the cost of the seed, the cost of the chemicals needed to make that seed grow, the cost of fuel for the trucks that take it to the market, all of those things, the cost of equipment, insurances, you name it. And yet, he cannot or she cannot set the price on their product. They are totally dependent on the marketplace. Yet they get up every day, go out in those fields, and feed a hungry America. God bless them. We will pause and be back with more.
I'm the first nurse in my family. I started at Wellspring as a certified nursing assistant, and then I went on to nursing. And as I was in my nursing classes, Wellspring, they helped in any type of way, even with the nurses that were in the facility. They assisted with knowledge and passing things down that sometimes you don't learn in the classroom. It's been a great experience at Wellspring. I'm proud of being a nurse.
Join our team today. Visit wellspringlutheran.com.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSW online poll is about 17-year-olds serving alcohol. The legislature did pass, and Governor Whitmer has signed, the law that allows 17-year-olds to serve alcohol at restaurants or bars in Michigan. 17-year-olds will only be able to serve at an on-premise location. A person of 18 years of age or older has to be present, and an alcohol server training course must be completed. Some supporters say it's going to be very helpful trying to fill those many openings of jobs in the restaurant industry. Some opponents say that they're concerned about the young adults that might lack the maturity to recognize maybe a person who's being overserved. Just some of the comments. Maine is the only other state that allows 17-year-olds to serve alcohol. So our poll question is, do you think that Michigan should be allowing 17-year-olds to serve alcohol within the constraints of the law? Yes? No? Not sure. You head to WSW.com, make your vote, and you scroll down the homepage and find the online poll box.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And we'll get back to our phones. Russ is waiting for us in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, I've talked around with some people, and it seems that if they're 50 and younger, they never heard of a Stalin show trial. And I would like to condemn the Democrats of America for putting one on. It's strictly out of the page of Joseph Stalin. The defense is not allowed a defense, and they are not allowed to cross-examine witnesses against them. That's right out of Stalin. And there's not one Democrat, including the three from this area, that are out there condemning it as such.
Yeah, I said the other day that the prime time hearing quote. I said that the other day. That I said the one thing to notice: there was no defense.
Nope.
It's just a hit piece.
And one thing I really noticed is there's not one Democrat out there condemning it. There, including the three from this area: Peters, Stabenow, or Kildee. No one. None of them are saying, "Hey, wait a second. We don't do this here. We have fair trials."
Yeah, but it's not a trial. It's a hearing. So let's understand that it's a hearing, and unfortunately, it's a political hearing. Nothing has to be fair.
It's then all right. Then is the Democratic Party getting credit for all this free publicity? Is that all considered a campaign contribution?
No.
Because I know if Fox News were to give even a half an hour free for the Republicans to do anything campaign-wise, boy, you can bet that'd be counted as a campaign contribution.
Yeah, well, it's not. You know it.
It's not right.
Yep.
It's not right.
May not be right, but
it's not American.
he who has the power wins. Right
Yeah.
now, the Democrats have the power. That's liable to change big time come midterms.
I don't see it changing anytime soon, because in order for them not to have the power, our federal government would have to be completely turned upside down. Because right now they're in charge of all the federal agencies.
Yeah, but that may
no matter
happen.
Who's in charge?
That may happen because remember, once you get power of Congress, you also have power of budget.
Yeah,
and they all live for the budget.
And if a Republican president fires one person, there's all hell to pay. But Barack Obama was allowed to fire damn near everybody and replace them with Democrat lapdogs.
Well, Republicans do the same thing. Come on now. Republican president gets in office, you think he's going to appoint Democrats to run all the agencies?
I'm not talking about the person appointed to run it. I'm talking about the rank and file.
Yeah, well, I understand that.
And it was
doesn't matter. It's
corrupted under Barack Obama.
Come on, Russ. Russ, you can't. If you want credibility, you can't exaggerate. You have to recognize that all presidents of any party do the same thing.
Then why under Donald Trump?
They put in place the people they want.
Then why did under Donald Trump did the FBI go after him beginning with the day he rode down the escalator? Why did the IRS deliberately discriminate against...
And how many people did he change when he came to office?
Not very many.
Oh, come on now.
Well, he got Washington Insider. He didn't know. Hopefully whoever gets in there in 2024 realizes you don't hire anybody that's been in Washington, D.C. for any more than 15 minutes.
All right,
the town
good enough.
Completely corrupts them.
Good enough. Well, that part, I'll grant you that. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You.
Take care. Bye-bye. Gene, hang on. We'll get to you in just a moment. We'll also chat with Terry Henney out and about at the Anderson and Richmond Center.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Let us head over to the Anderson and Richmond Center this morning because that's where Terry Henney is holding forth. Terry? right, we'll talk to you then, Terry, from the Anderson Enrichment Center.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show.
What if I identify my gas prices as $1.95 a gallon? You think I'd get it for that?
Well, that's not rooted in reality, sir.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And let's go back to our phones. Gene is in Bay City. Gene, good morning to you.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I was going to talk about something else, but I wanted to talk about the hearings, I guess, instead.
Okay.
You know, the politicians these days, you know, there's such a thing as moral character. And a lot of these politicians, their top priority is their career. That comes first, and what's good for the country comes second. Liz Cheney's dad, you know, was such a hero, war hero, and had such great moral character. And he was so admired by everybody. And his daughter is just like him. She has very high moral character. And instead of her career coming first, she believes what she's doing is the best for the country, even if she loses her career. I have a very good friend that's a real conservative Republican, and she backs Trump 1,000%, anything he said or did. Well, because her husband was in the Army, and they liked Liz Cheney's dad and her, so they watched the hearing. And anyhow, I was shocked because we had a lot of arguments over the years about the different things that different politicians were doing, and I was kind of shocked because she said, "Did you watch the hearing?" And I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Well, I'm done with Trump." I was shocked because we have had little arguments, you know, friendly arguments, and I was just shocked. But I think people are going to be surprised that a lot of Republican women really like Liz Cheney, and because of that, a lot of Republican women are watching the hearings.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see if she can retain her Wyoming seat.
Well, as I said,
and by the way, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, as I said, how many politicians will give up their career to do the right thing for the country? How many of them?
Yeah, that's very true, Gene. We haven't seen a lot of that in this day and age, and it's it almost seems that, particularly in Washington, they do what's good for the party, not what is good for the country.
Right.
And I think John F. Kennedy would be rolling over in his grave, thinking about that when he said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." I think a lot of politicians have forgotten that.
Have I got time to tell you about what I originally called to talk about?
You do.
Oh, thank you. There was an article in the Bay City Times written by a psychiatrist, and she treats high school and college kids, and she treats them mainly for anxiety, depression, and loss of focus. Well, she said there's like now, even in grade school, everybody has the smartphones, and one of the first things that she tells her patients is they have to cut way back on the smartphones.
You know why? Because the smartphones are making us dumb.
Absolutely right. Well, she said, one of the questions when she gets a new patient is how much time are you spending on your smartphone? She said they're spending 9 hours a day on their smartphone watching this TikTok and all this other whatever's on there. And she said, you know, her children are not happy with her because she does not allow them to have a smartphone. She said when they're 18, then if they want a smartphone.
More power to her. I mean, you know, it's the dumbing down of America to some degree. I have a great fear. I've expressed this for years now. The youngsters have learned to talk with their thumbs in sending text messages. They can sit on a couch next to each other and be texting each other rather than talking to each other. What are they going to do when they get in the world of business and have to communicate with people in ways other than their thumbs?
Well, I'm fearful of this young generation coming up. This one other article that I read, it says the brain is not 100%, all the different connections and everything, not completely finished until you're 25 years old.
Yeah. So,
and the frontal, trying to think of
frontal lobe.
The prefrontal cortex.
Okay.
That is slow to develop, and that's why.
Well, my prefrontal cortex tells me time's up because the clock on the wall says so. So we will continue this conversation at another time, Gene.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks for calling.
And God bless.
All
Have
right.
a nice afternoon.
You too, dear. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bill G. Schutte is prepared to be our next state representative. Bill was born and raised in mid-Michigan and graduated from local public schools. Bill served our country as an intelligence officer with the Defense Intelligence Agency in Mexico and the Middle East, working to help the fight against terrorists and Mexican drug cartels. He returned home to work for Dow. And now, Bill G. Schutte is running for state representative. With Biden inflation hitting us hard, Bill is fighting for lower taxes so you have more money in your wallet. Bill is fighting for parents and their right to have a seat at the table in their children's education. And Bill G. Schutte is a conservative Republican, pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, and a strong supporter of law enforcement.
This is Bill G. Schutte. I brief generals at home and overseas. I can stand up for you in Lansing. I ask for your vote on August 2nd in the Republican primary.
Paid for by Bill G. Schutte for state representative.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Sullivan's Food and Spirits. For only $10, you are going to get a $20 gift certificate to spend at Sullivan's Food and Spirits. If you've already been to Sullivan's, you know how good their food is, but if you haven't, they have a great selection of burgers to choose from, delicious salads, as well as a variety of seafood items to try. Grab your voucher today and head to Sullivan's for dinner. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Check out the WSGW Sports Broadcast page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the Sports Broadcast box on WSGW.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday. Coming up on Focus, we're going to focus on MBS International Airport. James Canders will be with us, and we will chat with him about the airport operations these days. All of that is coming up. But long before we get to that, we have news coming up first. It'll be CBS News and then the local report with Michael Perchep. We'll be back with Focus. We'll talk to you in just a bit.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by NHTSA.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. After 2 down days, investors appear to be optimistic, and the markets are up in early trading. The Dow up more than 231 points ahead of the Federal Reserve announcement on interest rates and how much higher they'll go. Economist Mark Zandi.
They want to raise rates high enough, fast enough to cool down the economy, slow growth, so that the economy doesn't overheat, go past full employment, and exacerbate the high inflation that we have right now. But they don't want to raise rates too fast, too far, and push the economy into recession.
CBS's Jim Krasula tells us some people are in too deep and needing help fast.
It's being termed very alarming. A statewide social services helpline in Texas is seeing a huge increase in calls from residents needing financial help just to pay their mortgage, rent, or utilities. Calls to the 211 Texas helpline are up 40% from a year ago. Many of them are first-time callers.
The White House blames both Vladimir Putin and the oil companies for record high gas prices. Here's CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
In a letter, the president calls on oil company CEOs to, quote, take immediate actions to increase the supply of gasoline and provide an explanation for the continued reduction of refining capacity. Mr. Biden says the decision to reduce the output of refineries during the pandemic, when the price of oil briefly dropped below zero, has since resulted in unprecedented profit margins. As progressives in Congress call for a windfall profits tax, ExxonMobil says it intends to increase oil production and expand refining capacity.
The heat wave hitting so many parts of the country is bad enough on its own, but in Odessa, Texas, the city's water system was shut down after a water main break, and now there's a boil water order. Councilmember Mark Mata has been handing out bottled water.
The biggest concern is that nobody gets dehydrated, nobody gets overheated, that they stay cool.
Just in, the white gunman accused of killing 10 black people at a Buffalo supermarket has been charged with federal hate crimes. In El Monte, California, 2 police officers have been shot and killed while responding to a report of a possible stabbing at a motel. Mayor Jessica Ancona.
As our officers do on a daily basis, they were acting as the first line of defense for our community members when they were essentially ambushed while trying to keep a family safe.
Police say they shot and killed the suspect as he tried to escape. Defense ministers are meeting in Brussels, and the head of NATO says they're trying to provide Ukraine with more modern weapons to fight off the Russian military. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
We can't afford to let up, and we can't lose steam. The stakes are too high.
Reuters reports the White House will announce about $1 billion worth of new weapons for Ukraine, including anti-ship rocket systems, artillery rockets, and ammunition. This is CBS News.
Leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. If you see a child left unattended, call 911. If the child looks unresponsive, do what it takes to get him or her out safely. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Coming to the Great Lakes Loons Saturday night.
I am Thor, son of Odin.
The Marvel Universe descends on Dow Diamond as the protector of Asgard greets fans for selfies and autographs during the game.
Should have gone for the head.
Bid on the Loons Thor-themed jerseys for your chance to take home a piece of baseball history.
Oh, for the head.
Tickets are selling fast.
Hey!
Get yours now at loons.com.
We know each other. Friend from work.
Defenders of the Diamond Saturday night at Dow Diamond. Dive in. It's Loons baseball time.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Rising home values mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 87 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. With higher temperatures and increased humidity today, Ascension St. Mary's Hospital Center of Hope will serve as a cooling station. Located at 723 Emerson Street in Saginaw, just behind the hospital, the center will be open until 4 p.m. Community members are welcome to come inside the air-conditioned Center of Hope as a respite from hot weather. The Bay City Salvation Army is also offering their community center as a cooling center from until 3 p.m. today. Masks are required in the Salvation Army Center. The Isabella County Sheriff's Department is getting some financial relief to buy fuel. But earlier this month, it was reported the department had exhausted its fuel budget, with several more weeks to go before a new county budget went into effect. However, the Isabella County Financial and Administrative Committee is considering a $20,000 budget amendment for the department's gas and oil expenses. The committee will meet June 21st at 4 p.m. to review the amendment, with a formal vote by county commissioners at 7 o'clock. The Saginaw Transit Authority Regional Services, or STARS, and Delta College have partnered to offer free public transportation to and from campus for Delta students. Starting August 29th, students will be able to ride 5 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 4 runs per day will be held, starting at the depot in downtown Saginaw to the college's main campus on Delta Road. The nonstop trip will be about 20 minutes. Riders can show their Delta ID at the STARS Transit ticket window to receive a semester pass. Students can get an ID at the downtown center or main campus. For more information, visit saginaw-stars.com. Individual legs of the Tridge in Midland will be closed over the next few weeks for cleaning, metal painting, and handrail staining. That starts today with the Chippewassee leg. Midland Parks and Recreation will close the leg being treated each morning around 8 o'clock, and on most days will reopen at around 5 p.m. Each leg is expected to be closed for 2 weeks while work is underway. Legs not being cleaned or stained will remain open for use. The entire project is expected to take around 6 weeks to complete. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
For a farmer, every day is different, and every season tells its own story. Make this the year you do it your way. Coron Metra is a foliar fertilizer that lets you decide when the time is right for nutrition. Metra gives you flexibility. It gives your tank efficiency. And Metra gives your crop more than just nitrogen. Coron Metra, the next evolution in crop nutrition. Always read and follow label instructions and check registration before use.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Sullivan's Food and Spirits. For only $10, you are going to get a $20 gift certificate to spend at Sullivan's Food and Spirits. If you've already been to Sullivan's, you know how good their food is, but if you haven't, they have a great selection of burgers to choose from, delicious salads, as well as a variety of seafood items to try. Grab your voucher today and head to Sullivan's for dinner. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Michigan Education Trust has announced more than 36,000 Michiganders have signed up for the MET 35th anniversary $1.5 million giveaway, a random statewide drawing that families and friends can enter on behalf of a child for a chance to win one of 115,000 prepaid tuition prizes. Under MET's giveaway, Michigan residents 18 years or older on August 31st, 2022 are eligible to enter on behalf of beneficiaries ages birth to 5 by the same date for a chance to win $15,000 in prepaid tuition. A person may enter only once, but multiple people may enter on behalf of the same child. The prepaid tuition prize may be used to pay for future tuition and mandatory fees at a community college, university, or technical school in accordance with MET terms and conditions. As state lawmakers negotiate the budget, dentists and other oral health professionals are pushing for greater funding to help low-income patients with dental care. Here's Michigan News Network's John Hewitt.
Members of the Michigan Dental Association and the Michigan Oral Health Coalition met via Zoom to throw their support behind a proposal by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, looking to expand dental care coverage for Michigan Medicaid recipients, saying there is a direct correlation between oral health and overall health. Dr. Melanie Mayberry is with the University of Detroit Mercy Dental School.
Science says it. Science demonstrates it. There's a link between poor oral health and uncontrolled diabetes. the inflammation that's happening in the mouth, gum disease, periodontal disease, or as my grandma used to say, pyorrhea. These are things that are preventable.
Governor Whitmer's budget proposal being debated in Lansing would include an additional $243 million to expand dental care coverage under Medicaid.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. That's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A heat advisory will go into effect here this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies today with a high in the mid-90s. Southwest winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Increasing cloud cover, a low near 74. By Thursday, skies will become mostly sunny, high around 87 degrees. Friday, sunny skies and a high around 80. Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high around 71. Then by Sunday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 78 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Right now, 87.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. And Focus, of course, brought to you by RoofMax. Get RoofMax.com to find out about this alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. And it's RoofMax with 2 X's, or give Ben a call at 989-859-6751. RoofMax, again, with 2 X's. Today, we focus on one of the great gems of the Great Lakes Bay region. That is our airport, MBS International Airport. And with us, the man who directs the operations there. We say good morning to James Canvas. James, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Let's start, because it's been in the news. I almost have to ask this. I mean, we've heard about all of the cancellations and everything. What impact has the shortage of pilots and crews had on MBS? Has it had one?
Yes, it definitely has, as it has with most of the airports in the Lower Peninsula. We are expected to see a slight flight reduction with one of our airlines starting in July going through September to offset some of that shortage. So that's the near term. And I would also recommend to passengers, if you're booking a last minute flight, be expected to get shuffled around a bit because the planes that are flying are full.
And that's, even when we have full flight capacity at MBS, most of the flights leave here full. I mean, it is desirable. At least I've always found this. It's desirable to fly out of MBS because the hassle is less, the convenience is greater, the parking is more, everything about it is more convenient.
Correct.
I mean, that makes it beautiful to fly out of MBS. And, you go to Detroit and make your change, or you go to Chicago. It just seems to me that flying out of MBS is the way to go. And I mean, we had a tour business for 14 years. We were one of the MBS partners. Whenever even with cruise lines, we required them to fly us out of MBS in those days, and never regretted it one time.
Well, thank you for that, and I agree. Overall, it's a lot easier than trying to drive to Detroit or drive to Chicago. Airlines are constantly trying to get pilots. They have a lot of initiatives for pilots and crew to kind of boost their numbers, but we're going to see it be a little while before there's a significant change to flight availability.
How about labor at the airport itself?
As we're with everywhere else, it's also interesting. I know the airlines are constantly hiring for people working the ramps and whatnot, but overall they're well staffed for every operation that comes in and out.
And how about the airport? Fire
Airport
department?
itself, fire department, and ourselves, we're fully staffed, and everybody is working very hard to make the overall airport safe and efficient for everyone.
So let's talk about investment in the airport. I know there was an announcement where you're going to get some money. What's it going to be used for?
That money should be for a rehabilitation of our crosswind runway, our secondary runway, runway 1432. It's been close to 20 years since that's been redone. It's got a lot of cracking in it, and it's due. We just resurfaced our main runway, runway 523, a couple of years ago for the same reason. And so that's what the funding will be used for.
And 523 is how long?
523 is 8,000 feet long.
So it's long enough to handle the biggest of jets.
Correct. So, and we had Air Force One in here several times in larger airplanes, and occasionally we have some military, they're Boeing 707 size aircraft for, those of in the passenger industry who used to remember flying on one of those. So we can accommodate them.
All right. Hang on. We're going to take a break and then come back. We'll also chat with Terry Henney during this break. We're talking to James Kanders at MBS International Airport, and we will return.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union just got better. It's now being offered all year long. This means you can get a whatever loan whenever. Now available year-round. The Whatever Loan at Members First Credit Union gives you money when you need it most. Use it on groceries, utilities, unplanned expenses, or whatever else life throws your way. Apply online at mfcu.net or stop into your local branch. Get back on your feet with the Whatever Loan from Members First Credit Union. Some restrictions may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and included 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
And let's take a minute to head over to the Anderson Enrichment Center and Terry Henney.
They have probably one of the largest selections of steel anywhere. Wolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. Great Father's Day gift ideas ready for you at Wolfiles and Steel. A lot more coming up during the farm program, so stick around, Arthur.
All right, we'll look for it, Terry. Thanks a lot. Terry Henney out at the Anderson Enrichment Center.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. This is WSGW.
And we are back with you. We're talking to James Canders from MBS International Airport. So let's talk about the realism of trying to find, for example, a low-cost carrier to come into MBS. What does it take, James?
Generally, it's a lot of conversation and can take with direct conversation with the airlines and can take several years. Typically, best source is those one-on-one conversations, and there's a couple of conferences a year that are dedicated to those one-on-one conversations where you can go and make a pitch to the airlines directly to get them up here. And we've been doing that for the past couple of years.
And it's the good news, bad news about MBS. It's always been viewed as a business airport. And that makes it difficult when you talk to the low-cost carriers, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And but in the same token, when we do talk to the low-cost carriers, they do see the success of Allegiant down in Flint and know it's possible for this region. Most of our destinations where our passengers go are in the Florida area, so it's a distinct possibility for MBS.
That would be nice. I mean, we had Allegiant here for a while, and if I remember right, I was told at the time they pulled out because they were only leaving 90% full instead of 95% full, and I went, huh? What's wrong with that picture?
And that's sometimes the way it is. And Allegiant, yes, they've got the low cost, but they also like to pitch vacation packages, hotels and things, kind of have it all bundled together. And sometimes if that doesn't work for them, they may change their market.
And it's not unusual for airlines to change markets, is it?
Correct. Especially in today's times, they have to be even more nimble. Usually we used to know schedules 3 months in advance, and now we're lucky to get them 30 days.
So as you look at MBS at an airport and you look at the current flight ops and what you would like to see in the future, what do you see as the biggest need for the airport right now?
Well, biggest need in order to get airlines, I'm working with the various economic development agencies in the region to get support from larger businesses or entities, financial institutions to, dedicate, their time and say, we're willing to use MBS as our dedicated airport. And when I go to make these discussions one-on-one with the airlines, I have a stack of commitment letters that I can present to them and say, look, these are all the businesses that and agencies that want to fly out of MBS, and you have reason for coming in.
At one time, and this was before the new terminal was built, there was for lack of a better term, a business alliance at the airport, because I was a member of it with my tour business at the time. And we had there was like a pillar in the terminal where all of the companies that supported MPS were listed. And it was a guarantee in a way that anything we did in flight was going to originate in MBS. I'd love to see that again. And you almost have it in a way, don't you?
Yes, we do. I mean, we've got a couple of the larger entities in the region. They're prominently displayed in the airport, but I would like a central location to, show who is dedicated to the airport, and it makes it easier for passengers and potential airline partners to see if they want to come in here and start new service or even new routes for existing airlines.
Okay, so here's your chance for a pitch for MBS International Airport. Somebody considering flying anywhere, anytime. Why MBS?
Well, why MBS? You've already kind of stated it's easy in and out, ease of access, centrally located to the region. And while low-cost carriers like Allegiant are nice to get you down to Florida, if you need to get anywhere beyond the Florida and Vegas destinations, you really need legacy carriers like United and Delta to get you there.
And you've got them.
We've got them.
Well, You know my number. Anytime you need anything, you know where to call, because I'm a huge supporter of MBS, believe in it, and hope it does very, very well in the future. I know you're doing a good job, James.
I appreciate that, Art. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in today. We appreciate it.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
James Canders, he is the airport manager. He runs MBS International Airport, Great Lakes gem, if you will. And we'll take a break, come back, close out, and get ready to find out what's happening in the marketplace.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
Stop by the Saginaw Children's Zoo and visit your animal friends. Take a spin on the carousel. Take a stroll down our brick paths. Visit the community-tended gardens. Check out the new turtle tank or take a thrilling ride on the ADA accessible train. More info at SaginawZoo.com. See you at the zoo.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you zoo?
Warmer weather is here, and Associates in Eye Care want you to remember to wear sunglasses with UV protection. Most of us acquire 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before 18, so it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration.